think they would scare. My argument is like you don't hear any messaging about. Like,
I'm filming, Dylan. I'm filming. Guys, today the workout for Wednesday, April 15th is Fight Gone Home. So it's the at-home version of Fight Gone Bad, which many of you most likely have done at least once, if not several times. It's 3 rounds. You're going to spend a minute at each of 5 stations. You're going to take a 1-minute break and repeat all of that again, a 1-minute break and repeat all of that again. So the goal is perform as many reps as possible at each station in 1 minute before moving on to the next. The 5 stations in Fight Gone Bad in the actual workout is wall ball, sumo deadlift high pull, box jump, push press, and row. We'll go over different options and potential modifications. If you guys have the equipment that you can utilize to do Fight Gone Bad the way that it's supposed to be done, if you have a medicine ball, if you have a barbell with plates, if you have a box and a rower, you can get it done as prescribed, of course, but I'll go over some modifications, assuming that most of you guys are not going to have all, if not any of that. So the options for wall ball, we'll go over them first before I demonstrate them, just so we can kind of cover that in one shot. The recommended substitute for wall ball is going to be some variation of a thruster. That can be done with either a dumbbell or 2 dumbbells if you have 2. Obviously, the weight of those dumbbells would dictate whether or not you do it with 1 or 2 of them. If you have like 2 50-pound dumbbells, just use 1, for example. A kettlebell, you can do a single kettlebell thruster. That can be done either with 1 arm or held in the rack position with both arms simultaneously. I'll go over those in the demonstration. And same idea, the weight of the kettlebell will dictate that. A barbell thruster, and if you have some weight, you could probably add a little bit of weight to it, but you really want to be cranking out a lot of reps in that minute, so I certainly wouldn't go heavy. Probably an empty barbell for men and women is fine. If you want to add maybe 10 pounds on each side, at most, I'd say that's fine. And then a backpack, of course, you can do a thruster with a loaded backpack and just dump as much stuff in there as you possibly can fit. The sumo deadlift high pull, in the normal Fight Gone Bad, it's 75-pound barbell and a 55-pound barbell for women, or 75-pound barbell for men, 55-pound barbell for women. So we're trying to at least replicate as close to that as we possibly can. If you have a pair of dumbbells, you can use both. I'll show what that looks like. If, of course, you have 1 dumbbell, I'll show what you can do with that. A kettlebell or a backpack, we'll go over those different options. Obviously, if you have a barbell, use the barbell. The box jump, if you have something to jump on, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a box. It could be a bench. It could be a chair if it's stable enough. It could be a couch if you have clearance for your head with your ceiling. You could jump on a step. I've seen people do that, whether it's on their porch outside or in their house in a staircase. That works out just fine. You obviously just have to be careful. If you don't have access to something to jump on, or it's just super inconvenient, try to make it happen relative to where you're going to set everything else up, we'll just substitute a lateral hop over something, meaning if you have a dumbbell laying on the floor, perform a lateral hop over that, a kettlebell, hop over that, a backpack, hop over that, really anything just to give you some sort of actual tangible thing to jump over. The push press, of course, if you have a barbell, again, use the barbell, but if not, dumbbell or dumbbells, kettlebell, and backpack, similar as the other guys. And then the row, the substitute for that, if you don't have a rower, is going to be the up-down, so that no push-up burpee, just because it kind of replicates that same compression of the hip and extension of the hip. And if you want to substitute something else out, call it a regular burpee, call it jumping jacks, double unders. If you have a bike, you can do something like that. You could run for a minute, run 30 seconds out, 30 seconds back. There's tons of options there, but we'll just kind of stick with the up-down for our purposes today. And then the warm-up, no surprises here. We'll stretch out. We will run through 10 reps of each movement. Just make sure everyone is good to go with scaling options, specifically in our classes. Take a minute break and then run through it again. Take a few minutes and then hit it. Let's go over the movements real quick. I'm trying to cut off my head tonight. No, I said I'm going to try not to cut off my head in the video. So guys, the thruster. If you have a medicine ball and a target, go for it, of course, and perform regular wall balls. But if not, we're substituting the thruster for wall balls. And whatever equipment you have.
Watch out, Daddy. Watch out.
Heads up, buddy.
Watch out.
Heads up, I gotta do this real quick. Come help me.
Watch out.
Come help me do the thruster.
Watch
Come help me do the thruster.
out.
So if you have a pair of dumbbells, guys, it's a dumbbell thruster. The dumbbells are held on your shoulders, of course. If they're relatively light, you can use 2. Heads up, Hunter. Let me just show this real quick.
So
Come here,
when
buddy.
we
Come here, buddy.
did I do the locks?
Come here. Get out of here. Get out. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
I did I do that. No. I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be into the bridge.
All right. Now be careful, dude.
I got it.
So guys, double dumbbell thruster, neutral grip, dumbbells resting on the shoulders, squat down, press overhead. If you only have one dumbbell, if it's light enough, you could choose to just do a single arm and switch every 5, 6, 7, 10 reps. If not, hold it in the rack position if it's a fairly decent weight, and then just perform the thruster there, squat and press to lock it overhead.
What? To me.
Come on, man.
Watch out.
Come on.
This is mine.
No, don't move it. Stop it.
Come on over here. Come on.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop
Get out
it.
here.
Hunter, put Madagascar on. Come on.
Try that again.
Okay.
Come on over here.
Can you do Madagascar?
Kettlebell, guys, same thing. If you have one, you can either do single arm, thruster, just hold it in the rack, come out. Come all the way down and then press the full lockout. You can also perform it with both hands, hold it in the rack, squat all the way down, and then press overhead. Backpack should be pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to demonstrate that. Hold it in the rack, press it out overhead. Similar to the tie pull, if you have 2 dumbbells and they're not excessively heavy, they'll start on the floor. I don't know if you guys can see this. Dumbbells starting on the ground. Grab hold of each dumbbell with an overhand grip, sumo stance, and then squeeze and pull the dumbbells along the body right underneath the chin. So the elbows end up high and outside. If you only have one, I would encourage you to do a single arm. So do it with one arm. And this way you can alternate arms. Just place it down and repeat with the opposite arm. Okay. If you have a kettlebell, it's pretty self-explanatory. If it's light, you can also do that single arm variation. If it's heavy enough, you can just grab the handle and perform a double arm sumo deadlift tie pull with the kettlebell. If you have a backpack, I would recommend grabbing the straps. So the shoulder straps, so there's a decent range of motion. And again, the high pull, same motion, just pull right underneath the chin, back down. For the box jump, again, depending upon what piece of equipment you're going to be utilizing for the movements, that'll kind of dictate what you're going to jump over. Doesn't have to be something high, doesn't have to be something wide, just something that allows you to start on one side, jump both feet together, and land softly on the other side, and then repeat to the other side. Okay, so jumping all the way up, pick up the knees, land nice and soft on the opposite side of the object. Push press, same exact thing as the thruster that we went over. So one dumbbell would be one arm, or in the rack if it's heavy enough. Obviously if you have 2 dumbbells. If you have a kettlebell, same idea. You can use it either one arm at a time and then switch, or you can hold it just in the front with both hands. And then a backpack would just be that same thing we looked at with the thruster. And then the up-down for the row. We've done these quite a bit lately, so no changes here. Get the hands to the deck, snap the feet back into the top of a push-up, snap the feet back in underneath, and stand up at the top. That is it, guys. We made it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Tomorrow, guys, classes, 7 a.m. CrossFit, 8 a.m. boot camp, 9 a.m. CrossFit, 10 a.m. boot camp, 6 p.m. CrossFit. If you guys have any questions about anything, if you need specific modifications for any of the movements, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.